So I'll talk a little bit about the average directional index right now. I had no plans on doing this today, but the average directional index is a simple way to identify the trend. And I'm going to explain it and break it down for y'all in the simplest form possible. All right. So I blew up the screen here. And what I want anybody to do anytime you're using average directional index, I want you to go over to the side and find the number 20 as close as you can, right? I drew a line there. So go to the number 20 and then you'll draw a line. All right, so for a clear trend using average directional index, it has to be above 20. If it's at 20, you don't have a trend. If it's below 20, you don't have a trend. Now, the unique thing about this particular average directional index is it only uses one line. Most average directional indexes will have three lines. It'll have a bullish line, a bearish line, and your actual average direction. All right. Now, the key thing about this average directional index for me is that it'll allow you to have colors for bullish momentum, slightly bullish momentum, bearish momentum, and slightly bearish momentum. All right. So, and then the white, of course, is just the momentum itself. All right. So for me, the slightly bullish momentum is baby blue. I think the default is like a light green. In fact, I'll just switch to the default. Why not? Let's reset it so you can see. So the default is a light green faded. The brighter green is the more dominant momentum. The brighter red is the more dominant momentum, and the lighter pink or reddish is the less dominant bearish momentum. All right, but I adjust mine. Of course, I just want the ADX, the momentum itself, to be white. I like to use orange for my slightly bearish momentum. I keep the red for the extremely bearish momentum. And instead of me using green for the dominant bullish momentum, I use blue. And for the less dominant bullish momentum, I use teal or baby blue, Carolina blue, whatever you want to call it. I don't make any adjustments to the inputs. I leave the average directional index settings as status quo. But here, just looking at SPY right now on this 45 second, you can see the average direction is down back below 20. But let's just zoom out, play around with this. All right, let's look at the daily. All right, daily still the same. Our weekly, when we got the orange, slightly bearish. Okay, slightly bearish. Monthly, we went from dominant bullish to slightly bearish. All right, on the monthly. So I'm not worried about my SPY puts at all in this example. Let's look at another ticker. Let's just pull up, I don't know, let's look at Palantir. Now again, always draw that line at 20 just so you can see it. All right. So 20 is telling us that anytime there's something above 20, we have a trend. All right. So in this case, our 1 minute on Palantir is slightly bearish. All right. 15-minute here is dominant bullish. Dominant bullish. We have a clear trend. We're over 20. The higher the number, the stronger the trend. Also, I want to note, you can see here that you had a bearish trend here at one point on Palantir. It went light and went dominant, and then it went light bearish again. So we're picking up. As you guys know, today is June the 13th. I grabbed a call on Palantir at the 138 strike for July the 3rd because Israel striked Iran. Looking at the 390 minute, what I have, a dominant bullish. The daily, let's look at that. All right, so we haven't broken the 20 yet. So it's still trying to find that dominant trend. All right, let's look at one more ticker. Somebody give me one in the comments. Let's see. I'll just see what I can find. Uh,
Tesla.
Thank you. All right. I think I heard Tesla. I think I heard BBAI. I'll look at both. All right. So let's look at BBAI. All right. So the daily, we had a dominant bullish trend on BBAI. Again, we're going to always go and draw that line at 20. All right. Let's zoom in. Intraday. We are well below the 20 intraday. So we don't have a clear trend intraday on the 195. Now there may be some bounces here. Here's a 15-minute. We have slightly bearish, right? And the higher this is, again, that's telling us it's increasing in that trend. All right. Also, let's see. Somebody said Tesla. Where's my A? Tesla. All right. All right. So Tesla, again, 20's down here. I already have it drawn. 15-minute, dominant bullish. 390, we fell below the 20. Daily, dominant bearish, but it's coming down. All right. Weekly, we had a dominant bullish, and now we just have momentum on the weekly. I'm still in Tesla calls right now that I'm swinging. So that's Tesla. All right, I see a few more in the chat. Let's look at Oracle. Oracle should be dominant bullish, but let's just look at it to get the confirmation. All right, 15-minute Oracle. First things first, again, you need to get in the habit of doing this, which is why I do it. I draw my line at 20. You said NVIDIA. Okay, we'll look at NVIDIA, Victor. All right, so here we are. Oracle, 15-minute, dominant bullish. 5-minute, slightly bullish, all right, followed by dominant. So a little bit of resistance there. Our daily, slightly bullish. So it should likely be hitting some resistance here, all right? But the gist is I want you to get the point on how to use it. Again, this is a very easy, user-friendly way to track momentum. And I am strongly leaning on less is more lately. I just find it beneficial. Here's Meta on the daily, dominant bullish. 30-minute Meta, dominant bullish. 2-minute Meta, slightly bearish. We need this at 20. Let's bring it up a little bit here, right there. All right, so I saw one more, NVIDIA. NVIDIA just breaking that. Let's go right to 20. So we're above 20. We're trying to get a trend. Let's look at the 15-minute. Still coming down to the 20 on the 15. No clear trend. 30-minute, 130-minute, no clear trend. 390, slightly bearish. Our daily, still dominant bullish. Okay. So just a quick lesson again on the average directional index indicator by Bushi. All right. I do believe that I did pin this in the Red E Society under the Free Indicators channel. You know, anytime we find something here, we like to bless each other. I think I put it in here. If I didn't, I will. All right. I will take care of that. Make sure I get it posted in here and include this video. All right, so let's talk about something else. I was going to talk about this next week in the week 4, session 4 of, I love to see you, Nan, of the mentorship. Let's talk about candles. I'm not going to do a big breakdown on candles, but I want to point out, you know, we've always pretty much used our volume candles, right? We've used those quite a bit. And I mean, just the setup that you're seeing right now, I got my 10, 20, 50, and 200 EMA. I've got smart money concepts, which everybody's familiar with from the flawless trading system, right? But let's just only look at the candles for just a minute. All right. I also have ICT kill zones. That's something else I'm gonna dig deep on. But I just only want to focus on the candles real quick. And of course, we know when we're looking at our solid candles, right? Wherever the body is of that candle, that's the dominant momentum, right? That's where the dominant momentum is. So if you have a completely solid candle here, we're looking at Palantir, On May the 30th, it had a really dominant uptrend candle. All right. Then here on June the 5th, the bears had more control. The bulls were trying to pull it up, but this leg, this wick, indicates that the bulls were trying to pull it, but more of the weight of the candle, the body of the candle, was to the lower part, indicating the bears had dominance. All right. Here, let's look at today, Palantir. All right. This is just the regular candle. All right. Most of the candle, even though the market has not closed and this candle hasn't closed, is down at the bottom right now. So the bears are currently dominating this candle. Also confirming with the volume down here, we have low buy volume, which is why the candle's still green. But let me introduce you to the hollow candles. All right, hollow candles. All right. Now, the cool thing about the hollow candles is, and it's really quite simple. All right. When they're hollow, doesn't matter if it's green or red, it's a bullish candle because it's above the prior close. Very simple. When it's red or solid in any kind of way, if it's solid, period, it is a bearish candle. So I was asked a question about Palantir earlier. Mark, do you plan on getting out of your Palantir? I don't plan on it, but I did set a stop loss. All right. The reason why I say I didn't plan on it is because currently our daily candle is hollow, indicating that it is still in a bullish trend. Notice I don't have any other indicators up. I just see candles and volume. All right. Granted, when we looked at the trend earlier, we saw it was just trying to break the 20, just barely trying to break the 20. So granted, I'm roughly $2-3 down from my strike price for my call option at the moment. But based on what I'm seeing on the daily and the amount of time that I position myself in this particular call and geopolitical events, I feel relatively comfortable in my swing trade. All right. But these hollow candles, you can find them again. This is not an indicator, right up here at the top. All right.
My stop loss just triggered.
Mine didn't.